YouTube, you with us?
There we go.
There we go. Learning. I don't know. Hey guys, we're just getting started. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
I feel like there's no room for my arm. Trying to squish in here. I know. We're trying to. Hey, Dan Red Music. Nice to see you. Did I say that right? Thanks for waving. Welcome, welcome. I know it's hard though because we're always trying to squish because the Facebook and Instagram have to be this way instead of this way. Don't make the phones fall. We have a very precarious stand setting going on. If you guys could see, you would laugh. I've literally got one of our cameras, like I've got a canola oil bottle, like helping balance it. Hey, Mrs. Shaki Kimpson. Oh, good. I'm glad I said that. Thanks, Dan. Good. Hello, hello. Welcome to. Thank you. Why have we never thought of that before?
I do it all the time.
Oh, he's the.
Why did I let you do it before?
I don't know. He's the practical one. Thank you. Well, we're both practical, but you're like, what's the word for that? Yeah, maybe practical. You're just good at making things work. Hello, hello. Riri or Rewrite.
Rachel Mama.
Hey, Rachel Mama. That was our old neighbor.
Allergy.
I still remember your pumpkin cake. It was delicious. Hey, Allergic Traveler. Thanks for joining in. We're just saying our hellos as everyone jumps on.
Wait, which old neighbor?
Rachel and her husband Patrick. And her husband Patrick that lived
there you
above
go.
us.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Patrick.
There you see. You remember
There's a lot
the
of
guys.
Rachels.
It's a good name. It's a good name. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We are doing our weekly live. We used to call it Q&A, but it's really more just like our allergy live chat time. I like to think of it as kind of like an old-fashioned radio show. Hey, Kimberly, where it'd be like, color your live, and you can like share what's going on with yourself that week in your allergy world, good things, bad things, because we're in a safe community. We get it. And sometimes it's just nice to talk to people who understand and who can validate. So I am Megan, and I'm the blogger behind Allergy Awesomeness. It's a recipe website for people who have food allergies. Our oldest, you do that still. You're good at that still. Our children.
We have 3 children, which 2 have allergies. Our oldest also has a disease,
rare disease.
A rare disease that affects his throat, his esophagus, which also affects allergies in foods and environmental, as well as nuts. Our second child has nuts. And our third one, we don't know yet. We're crossing our fingers, hoping that she will be good. I don't know where her mind went, but I think you got what I was trying to say.
Our oldest avoids 10 anaphylactic food allergies, 20 additional triggers, so 30 foods that he avoids altogether.
Yes.
And I started my blog because I feel like you leave the allergist office with like a list of no's and you don't always know what you can eat, and it's frustrating trying to figure out and navigate it. So
hi, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie. And hey, Lindsay. Hey, AC. So yeah, it's frustrating, and I just got sick of looking on Pinterest and being like, can't eat that. So we started that, and it's just kind of evolved to realizing like what an awesome community of support I've had, and I want to spread our community and make sure that we get to know each other. All of my readers can get to know one another. We can learn from one another. So that's where we're at. We start every live with a tidbit about ourselves. It's fun to kind of share something. Sometimes you just think you're just mom and dad, or you're just the allergy mom, but share a little bit more about ourselves so we can see if we have anything in common with you. You want to start?
I'll start by introducing myself. She didn't let me introduce
I'm
myself
sorry.
this time.
I just figured you guys know who he is. It's because you made me laugh, and that's all off.
I am Claudia.
Hey, Kid Lunches.
Megan's husband, father of 3, and I had something on my mind as far as what I was going to share today.
I know the joke. It just threw us all.
You're gonna have to go back to me.
Okay. Okay. I had something. So before I was doing lives and everything, another reason why I am fine talking to my phone, other than I could like talk to a wall, because I love talking, I actually taught English. I would do it from my home, and it would be to China or Japan. It was super, super fun. It was like crazy hours. because of the time difference. But I did it just as an extra job to earn extra money. Traveled to New York with it, paid off some school loans with it. So, and even did it up to the time our oldest was about like almost 2, I think, somewhere around that. So it was really, really fun. And yeah, so if anyone's ever like worked online like that, you're like, I assume there's like sometimes you're talking and you can always see it broadcasting well. It was back in the day, so it was really fun. So that's something that I did that you might not know about me. Hey, Scrumdiddlyumptious, that's a cool name. Hey, welcome, welcome. So we wanted to open it up to you guys first and see if anything happened in your allergy world that you want to share. And then B, we would also love to hear about your guys' Easter. So if there's anyone out there that wants to share, let us know. And you can always interrupt and we'll try. If we lean forward, it's because we're trying to read comments. So, and if we miss it because it scrolls too fast, feel free to type it again. We don't find that annoying at all. We're happy to make sure we catch all the comments. So do you want to tell a little bit about our Easter as far as?
Well, I'll start with my interesting tidbit.
Oh, okay.
Since it came to mind. One that came to mind is I enjoy college sports. I am more of a college sport fan than I am a professional sport fan, and that is partly due to my father. He played college football.
Shout out to Dick Lavin.
For Boston College, RIP. And so he had season tickets. We had season tickets. We go to football games. And I have brothers and friends who are into basketball. And if you know, this past month was March Madness, something that I do every year. Do a little bracket. Was disappointed this year. North Carolina did not pull through. But yeah, that's my interesting tidbit.
Yes, good stuff, good stuff. So when he actually has a minute, not being dad or working, I have to admit though, he's really good. Some guys I feel like are glued to the TV screen watching sports, and I feel like you never watch sports. So
because we don't have a TV connection to watch.
Yes,
sports.
I canceled cable a long time ago. I should throw that in there.
But no, I'm not addicted to watching sports.
True.
At all.
True. You're very good at it. Okay, so since you did that, do you want me to tell a little bit about our Easter?
Sure.
So I just thought it'd be fun to see how different parents do Easter, especially navigating food allergies. If you guys follow me, make sure you are not only subscribed, but the notifications are turned on, because all this past week, I've tried to share allergy-friendly tips for managing this holiday. And one of the things is I have a allergy-friendly candy post that's really helpful as far as what you can throw on Easter bags and Easter baskets, and fill your eggs with. Yeah. As far as I've tried to do a lot of like Easter dinner recipes, for spring recipes, scalloped potatoes, asparagus, all those type of things. So I hope you guys have found that helpful. I'm always open to suggestions. If you're like, Megan, I really need this. This used to be a traditional dish. Can you help us figure it out? I'd be happy to do that as well. So if you listened before, I just have one sister. Thankfully, she lives about a half an hour away. Hey, Stephanie. And so she came up, and it's so nice. I was just talking to a friend about this, like how nice it is to not to cook by myself. Cody's not a bad cook, but I'm more like, take the kids, go in the other room, give me my piece, right? Like mommy's working, yeah. Mommy's in the kitchen. So what I like to do is I like to still assign food to people I feel like are safe and will respect, not just getting any ingredient, will read me back. I'm at the store. This has a may contain. Are you comfortable with that? So on and so forth. But my sister, she doesn't have the pantry stocked like I do, as far as like my scalloped potatoes need gluten-free flour mix, or it needs a vegan mayonnaise and things like that. That I don't want to make them go buy it just for one single thing, Okay. So I always try and give them something easy that they already have on hand. So I assigned her. Do you remember what she brought?
Yeah, she brought ham.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was super good. So I just gave her the ham because hams are naturally allergy free, and
if you're not allergic to pork, of course.
Yes, thank you. So that's what I had her bring, and it was really nice. So then I just took care of all the side dishes. I did the dessert. You're following along with me on Instagram. I made my carrot cake, which he stole how many pieces?
I didn't steal any pieces. She's my wife. She made the cake, so therefore I enjoyed it. I enjoyed 3 pieces before anyone showed up.
Yeah, before dinner. You have like breakfast, lunch, and mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times a day.
Just making sure there's no poison in it, right? So yeah.
It was good. And that was before she put the frosting on. Well, I had 1 piece before she put the frosting on. And then she put the frosting on.
Then it was
it
game
was
over.
Downhill from there.
Game over. So yeah, so that was really good. I think we had a really good Easter meal. I think I did too many sides. Raise your hand or wave if you do that. Like, I feel like I always think it's a holiday meal. There needs to be all these options. Hi, Julie. Miss you, Julie. So yeah, I always do too many sides, and then it's like, oh, I made too much, and I went to too much effort and time, and our grocery bill was higher than usual for no reason. But sometimes you just kind of bust it out when it's a holiday. So, anyways, we had a great meal. As far as Easter goes, I don't think we said this. Do you want to explain kind of our gifting mentality around Easter? As far as how many gifts the Easter Bunny brings, and
I don't remember the details, but
because I said the rules.
Yes, we do believe in the Easter Bunny.
Or we perpetuate that
and
story.
So, yes, our children expect to get something from an Easter Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
We do candy as well as non-candy items, and we usually do a big gift or two. I'm guessing now we have more kids. It's probably a gift per child. Yes.
We try, because Stephanie, you feel me? It's so easy to go overboard, right? I know. It's something I still am working on. Hey, is that Katie Catter? Thanks for joining. I know. So we just don't want our kids feeling confused with like Christmas and Easter. It was my thinking, because I don't want them being like, oh, we just got all these gifts a few months ago, and then we just get to ask for a bunch of individual gifts again.
Yeah.
So we've always tried to do a big outdoor gift that they can enjoy, like for the upcoming season, since it's about to be summer. You know what? It's the cozy coop. It's a slip and slide this year because they're getting into sports. We usually just do one because we try and like rein it back and have it be smaller. But we actually did a t-ball stand and a soccer net, so why not have that be the gift? And then, yeah, we do just candy for the baskets because they get a bunch of non-food items at the allergy-friendly Easter egg hunt that we mentioned a few weeks ago. So if you don't remember that, I can go over that quickly again because it's a super neat experience. So yeah, we just keep it simple, just do some candy, and then do a big gift. So it's nice. I think it goes over well, and we don't want them to feel like super spoiled, but we do want them to feel like they get some treats. I just love it because you can do like gum, and the Starburst jelly beans are delicious. Like, we always end up eating half the bag. So I think it went over well. I don't ever feel like our kids feel like they're missing. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a little sad to not do like the chocolate bunny. I mean, that's classic, right? You can actually find an allergy-friendly chocolate bunny by No Way, NO space WHEY, but it's only sold online where we're at. There's no stores close, and by the time I pay shipping and handling, and I remember to order on time, I just haven't bothered. But yeah, it's really fun. Oh, thank you. She says, thank you for all the recipes and candy suggestions. You're welcome. I know, because it's like you want your kids to have, not the sugar rush, but the typical like getting excited for candy, and just because they have food allergies doesn't mean they should miss out. And she says, really exciting here. Our 3-year-old ate 2 Swedish fish. He just spits everything out. It was nice to see him start to enjoy some safe candy. Oh, good. That's wonderful. Who doesn't love Swedish fish, right? I don't know. Who do you think eats more Swedish fish? You or
I do.
Yeah, by the handful.
I love Swedish fish.
Yeah. Did you find the cute Easter packaging? They have like some really cute fish and eggs.
Yeah.
Packaging that I found last year. I didn't. I tried to scale back on the candy this year because I went with the Airheads. They do contain soy for those who have soy allergies, but we can do soy. Thank goodness. That's one. Hi, Dad. That's one of the few top 8 allergens that they can do, and they love Airheads. I don't think they're that great of a candy, but they get them a lot at their friend's house. It says me that's eating like all the blue ones. I know. I knew you were gonna call me out, so I went ahead and offered that up. But they always get it at a friend's house, and so they think it's like this special cool treat. And tell me why it only came in a pack of 80. So by the time I bought that heifer of a bag,
because they knew there was 5 of us who would be eating them.
No, it was way too much. So we still have I didn't hand them all out. Like, we have a treat bucket that we've talked about before, that if our kids eat a good lunch or dinner, we'll let them pick one treat out. And so I gave them like a handful in their basket, and then we have the rest in the treat basket. We're like, the Easter Bunny brought Mom and Dad some, and we decided to share with you by putting it in the basket. Because I was like, how do I explain? I had the exact same candy as the Easter Bunny happened to have. Trying to cover my bases. It's going to be tougher when our kids get older and they can figure stuff out. So Matt, will you read that?
We made some homemade chocolate bunnies with Enjoy Life chips and silicone molds. My 5-year-old was so excited.
Oh, that's a great idea. Way to go above and beyond, Samantha.
And it stuck together and everything and held together. And
that's very cool. Did you put sticks in it? Or did you just do like the molds? That's super cool.
We could do that.
We could. Do you guys follow Allergylicious? I love her. She's a super cool allergy mom that has similar allergies and has a good blog too. She posted a really cute picture of some allergy molds and stuff. And I thought, dang, I should have made the time to do that. But we don't have any molds and this mom is tired. Good job, Samantha. That's cool. I think that's super cool. Way to be creative and think outside the box. I know I'm usually like, is it on Amazon? Nope, it's not on Amazon. We're not doing it. Okay. Hey, Mel's. Nice to see you. Hey, S. Buckner. Thank you for joining. Hey, with love and grace. Did I miss anyone? Super easy. Possibly. Just pop them out. Nicely done. Did you grease it at all with like coconut oil or anything or nonstick spray? Or did they just pop out okay? Thank goodness for Enjoy Life, right? Like raise your hand if you love Enjoy Life. I would die without them. And I have been on them, just so you guys know, because I do talk to them every once in a while, to do white chocolate chips, right? I think we all need to start a campaign. I need to like start getting signatures because white chocolate chips will be life-changing to an adult. No, stop it. Stop it.
I'm not a white chocolate fan, but I can appreciate that, yes, that option would be helpful to some and appreciated.
It would be so good.
We always have a chocolate versus white chocolate.
Which ironically.
Yeah, we're not even going to touch that.
Just saying.
All I have to say is white chocolate's not really chocolate.
Still good.
My opinion.
Still good. So the things I could do with white chocolate, man, just for dyeing things, you know, because it will take on color. Yeah. So maybe we should start a petition, start some signatures. I'm on them all the time. So if you guys feel me and you want some white chocolate, I am working on it. I'm trying.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Thank you. Okay. Or maybe they're just like, sure. Good luck, Megan. So yeah, that's exciting. Very cool about the silicone molds. So yeah, anyways, Enjoy Life is a lifesaver. I'm glad that melted chocolate works for you. It's what I use for my ganache all the time. This is totally unsponsored. It's what I use in all of my baking. I've heard Pasha is really good. Yes, try Pasha. Is it Free to Be? I know they have chocolate chips. I've never tried their chocolate chips. Has anyone tried them? Chime in if you tried them. I've tried their cups. I really like their cups, but I've never actually bought their chocolate chips because I'm just in such a habit of buying Enjoy Life, and they opted to send me a package. So I'm going to use what's free, of course, as well. So, but it's nice. I'm glad there's competition. I'm glad there's more than just one company. So hopefully the quality of chocolate will keep going up. So that's super cool. So did anyone else have any problems with their Easter dinner? Whether it was inviting family, going to family. I know holidays can often be stressful as far as like having to bring your own food or family members who get it. That can be super frustrating. I know we've had readers before say things like that. Like, you know, my grandma on my husband's side is, you know, still trying to feed my kid peanut clusters or, you know, it can be scary when you invite more people over to a meal or you go somewhere that is not completely in your control. So Stephanie says, I love Free to Be. Enjoy Life is cross-contaminated with corn. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? We don't have a corn allergy, so I had never thought about. I don't read for that. You know how like you just get so fine-tuned to reading for your own allergies that you didn't think about that. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Stephanie. That is good to know. Yeah, corn allergies are on the rise.
That's a hard one too.
Yeah, it really is. I know there was a little while where we were avoiding it, so it wasn't like it was like an EOE trigger, so it wasn't anaphylactic. So we were just mostly avoiding like, I think our allergist let us do. So it's been so long. Do you remember?
We did what?
Well, it was just like we were avoiding corn and cornstarch, but I think we were still doing like corn syrup, right?
Possibly.
He was so young, I don't think we were really feeding him candy at that point.
But it was hard because cereal options, unless it was made out of rice.
Yeah.
That was the only option we had. And then as far as any type of grain, that was hard.
Yeah, we only had rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we couldn't do corn, of course, and corn tortillas. And,
yeah, I'm sure you're nodding your head,
yeah.
right, Stephanie? You're like, yeah. And it just like all the corn syrup
Yeah.
in every packaged good. I bet you have to do so much homemade stuff. I mean, I already feel like I do, and I don't have corn, so I tip my hat to you. That's really impressive. That's a hard one to deal with.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, good to see you. So yeah, that's tough. So tell me, for your Easter dinner, do you cook it all yourself? Like, do you dare let friends and family help out? Like I've mentioned before, I'm so fortunate that my sister is. I mean, if I had assigned her something other than the ham, she definitely would have done it.
She's done it in the past.
Oh yeah. She's got like my Rice Krispie treat down pat, where how I use coconut oil instead of butter, and I think they turn out almost better than mine do. So she is fantastic. If you haven't looked at that recipe, it's like the easiest no bake treat. Google it. Rice Krispie treats with allergy awesomeness. So yeah, she's fantastic. But if I can give her a break, I don't mind. And I really like cooking, so I don't mind at all. Hey, House 054, good to see you. So yeah, that's interesting. You have a granddaughter that's gluten and dairy-free food. It's hard to find foods. It is. It really is. Yeah, especially if you're going for packaged stuff. But I do have on my site, if you Google Allergy Awesomeness plus snacks, I have a list of all of our allergy-friendly snacks that are gluten and dairy-free that are helpful for like last-minute stuff, as well as you can Google Allergy Awesomeness candy, and I've got a list of all of our gluten and dairy-free candy that we do too. Yes, Supermom Stephanie, thanks for chiming back in. So you did it all from scratch. I had people help with the prep, but I had the recipes and ingredients. It's true. You just have to like own that you are going to be the planner of like every holiday meal, right? Like, I'm going to take charge. This is what we're having. Here's the recipe. Here are the ingredients you can use, and you just have to delegate. No more showing up and just like, oh, surprise! What did someone make? Right? Like, you've got to like know everything of every recipe that's going in it.
As partner asked, do we have recipes with and without eggs?
Oh yes, we do. Do we? Eggs anaphylactic
yeah,
for us.
our oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So egg replacer.
Love that.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Applesauce for baking.
Mm-hmm.
Something else to do. What
flax eggs.
Flax eggs.
So the store that's by his work sells really cheap ground flax seeds, so he just barely picks them up. I'm always like, on your way home. So yeah, those are my favorite egg replacers. And every single recipe on my site you will find is egg free.
And then our son eats the fake.
Oh, the fake. We just call them fake eggs. They're his special eggs. They're called Follow Your Heart vegan eggs.
Vegan eggs.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna throw this out there. Well, what do you think of the taste of those?
I have not tried them.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, I thought you tried a little.
No.
Okay. Confession, I have not tried them either.
Yeah. I have no desire.
I know.
No need, no desire.
It's like a mental thing.
He seems happy. He asks for them all the time.
I want to describe a disclaimer though, because our son has never tasted an egg in his life. He's had egg allergies since like 3 months old. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. As you can see, like people who are used to the taste and texture of real egg, it might be hard if your child has had egg before, or if it's an adult with a new allergy. Right?
I will try it.
Okay.
Because I am an egg person. Like
he has to have scrambled eggs every morning.
Scrambled eggs, eggnog, French vanilla. What's that?
French
bread?
Toast, challah
bread, French toast, anything that has like bread, that dessert that you make for your dad.
Oh, every year bread pudding.
Bread pudding. But yeah, anything that has like that eggy taste or consistency or texture. Mayo is eggs too, right? Yeah. I love eggs, so I'll try it. I'll take the challenge.
Just know he's biased because he does love eggs.
Yeah, but I'll be honest as to whether or not it's a good replacer.
Yeah.
Or whether it's just completely off. But anyways, you mix it together and it scrambles up like eggs.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of has like a flour consistency.
Yeah, it's a powder.
When you're cooking it,
mm-hmm.
Kind of like a pancake, like the way you make a pancake.
Yeah, if you didn't break it up, it'd be like one flat.
and the batter. The batter is like pancake consistency. If you pour it and heat it up, it'll turn into like a pancake, but you have to scramble it. I think you pretty much have to just dice it up.
Kind of, yeah.
But yeah.
So hold him accountable. Ask him next week what he's done. I'll try to remember too. And then afterwards in the comments, I'll put a link to it in case you've never heard of it. Because it took us like 5 years into the egg allergy to hear of it. So I was like, where has this been all of our life? We find it at Sprouts, at Whole Foods, Good Earth. Anyways, a couple of different places. But with that, if you've never tried it, word to the wise. And hey, you're gonna have to read this. My eyes are going bad. The two that just went. Hey, yeah, and the allergy chef. Hey, so but word to the wise, they're not kidding when they say cold water. Yes. Hey, Amanda.
Make sure it's cold.
Yes, and I've heard of even people who have like shakers. They'll put like ice to make it like super cold, and that does help with the texture. But it's just a powder. It's 2 tablespoons to half a cup of water. One thing that we do that I think improves the taste is if you're not vegan, so I call us accidental vegans because we still eat a lot of bacon. It's just a dairy and egg allergy. So I happen to bake vegan all the time. And we do meatless a lot, but we also still have our share of meat. So I love to do bacon grease in the pan instead of just olive oil. If I don't have that, I'll use olive oil. And then I actually got this from Claudie, but I saute diced.
Got something from me.
I did, yeah. You've influenced my cooking. The garlic, the minced garlic, yeah. So I saute that and then pour the egg mixture in. So between like the olive oil or the bacon grease, the sauteed garlic, and then generous salt and pepper. I think it smells decent. Yeah, so let us know if you tried it, S. Buckner, or report back next week. We'd love to hear if you've found it out or what you think. But
good luck on that egg challenge.
Yeah, a challenge, an oral challenge. Raise your hand if you've done an oral challenge. It can be a little scary. We did it to soy, but I think it's worth it by all means because we ended up getting soy, and now it's a game changer for us. So it's worth it. But I have to say it has made such a difference with the vegan follow your heart eggs, because my husband just could not give up his eggs. So my husband was still having them. I would have them sometimes. And my son was like, and we try to not eat a food that he can't have something similar of. So it's like, you can have your coconut yogurt, we'll have our regular yogurt. You can have your special bread, we'll have our regular bread. So he never felt left out. But that was the one thing that we kind of did. And he was like, I get to have eggs too. I have eggs for breakfast. So he was so excited. So that was really worth it. I mean, it's a pretty penny. We try and be very frugal. We are definitely on a grocery budget. And do you remember how much it is? You've gotten it for me. I bet it's like $4
to $6.
Yeah. I mean, if you figure you can get a thing of eggs for like $1, and that's probably only lasts how long?
It probably makes like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's probably like, I would say the one serving on it makes probably like what's worth 2 scrambled eggs. So it's probably like half a dozen that it makes or so.
Yeah.
She said, how old was your kiddo when you did the challenge? I'm afraid that my son isn't reliable in reporting symptoms. How old is your child that will be doing the oral challenge? So for those of you who don't know what an oral challenge is, they consider it the gold standard of allergy testing. It's completely up to your allergist to decide if your child is ready for oral challenge. So that's not something I would recommend you decide. It's after testing, and for our allergist, it's because he was borderline. Like, he could almost not be allergic, maybe he's allergic. Followed it up with blood testing, did the 1% rule. If you don't know what the 1% rule is, talk to me. And was like, I think, like, our allergist will only do it if he really thinks you're most likely going to pass, because he doesn't want to induce anaphylaxis. It's just to double check that you could be safe having it in a controlled environment.
And we only did that with soy milk.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it with eggs.
I wish.
Ever since infancy, he seemed to react when breastfed.
Even when I would eat them.
When she had eggs. So that's how we kind of had a clue that eggs were probably an issue. So she did the elimination diet, and we did patch testing.
Prick and patch.
Patch with eggs.
With egg every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
So
Okay, so you want to do a baked egg challenge. He'll be 4 by our next allergy visit. Oh, 3.5. Well, what do you think about that?
I would imagine if he's developmentally sound that
Meaning regular milestones.
Yeah, like he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a child that's about to turn 4 in a month, and so I would imagine he'd be able to tell you like, "Oh, my tummy hurts." Or,
I think it's also like a maturity wise thing, right? Like you said, if you don't feel maybe he's trustworthy about things, I mean, you guys could do a practice just at home, like give him maybe something sweet and something sour, and like, how do you feel after you eat this? Does your tongue feel, tingly?
Yeah.
Does is it ooh? Like, just have him describe how does that make your tummy feel, and you can start practicing. I know they taught us that, like, start teaching your kids adjectives of how they're feeling, so they can know, like, because it's just good for emotional vocabulary, right? Like, what's frustrated versus disappointed versus like, my tummy hurts, my throat tickles, things like that are good things to practice. But he was only 1 when we did the soy. But again, it was like he had no foods. And so we were just like, oh, we're going to do it. And so it was more checking for rashes.
Mm-hmm.
It was checking for if his behavior was changing, if anything was swelling. Like, we had him stripped down.
Or refusing the food.
Yeah. Wasn't it like down to a diaper or something?
Yeah.
So we could just see all of his skin, see any changes. So we did it super young, and it worked for us. So, so see, someone else is doing the same challenge. So yeah. I know, I feel like egg is a very common one to be challenged by. So that's great. You're asking this. And then on Facebook, those two are on Instagram. But yeah, she did an egg challenge at 5 years old. It wasn't too bad for him. Good. I'm glad it went so well, Kimberly. And Amanda said, what?
Stephanie says that he'll say his tummy hurts at dinner, and then a couple minutes later he'll ask for dessert.
Right?
That's our middle child.
Oh my gosh. Every day of our lives. Or else, I'm so full. Can I get what's for dessert?
No.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful if they're just trying to pull it over you. Mm-hmm. So you probably have to do some creativity as far as when you're giving it to them. And the timing, do some variety to see if his responses differ.
Mm-hmm. And, make do the baked egg. I mean, there's so much you can do with baked egg. Do it something that he'll enjoy, because he has to end up eating a lot as they increment up. So does he like muffins? Bake it in some muffins. Does he like waffles? Bake it in waffles. I'm sure your allergist has a recipe. I know our allergist has recipes to make sure it has a certain amount so it can be more standardized. So I'm sure he has some ideas, but I'm sure you can work with him if you're like, he doesn't like, this or that, and work your way up. Please let us know. We'd be interested to know how it goes.
I was just thinking, there's different ways of doing it, I guess. Like I mentioned all the egg stuff that I like. So I would imagine
Claudia's any of
those that have eggs.
Yeah.
Said ice cream, French vanilla.
But it has to be baked.
Oh.
Because they're seeing what the protein is changed.
Never mind.
But maybe someday.
Maybe there's something else.
Yeah. And Amanda
says some type of cake or something, I guess.
Right. I mean, baked eggs are in every baked good. So Amanda says, we did the egg challenge almost 3 and she did great. My daughter was very verbal though. Yeah. So I don't know, Amanda, if that helped you knowing that she was verbal, but yeah, I know, like, we were 1, another person has chimed in, that was 3. Hey, Jonna. Okay. I have to give Jonna a shout out. If you guys have seen my latest recipe from last week, the whole frittata cups, totally idea came from her. She sent it to me and was like, I think this will work. She's always feeding me good recipes for you guys. So
kids like them.
Give her a big shout out because she is she's my foodie pal, always looking for stuff. So hey, Bod Hill Creations, good to see you. Thanks for waiting. And she said she did ours around Christmas and Santa sent a letter of encouragement. I know Amanda in person and she is on it. She is such a good allergy mommy. Came up with such good things, Amanda. And a bunch of wrapper dollar store toys with our daughter's Elf on the Shelf. That made a huge difference in getting our daughter, sorry, it's like stopping us, we can't see, to actually eat the food during the challenge. Nice. That's good. I love that. Because, kids can be nervous. You told them, no, 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 no. Yeah. And now they're in like this hospital setting and you're like, eat it. And you need to eat it now and you need to eat this much amount. We were lucky because our son did it in like a bottle, right? Didn't we just do soy milk in a bottle? Yeah. So, yeah, Jonna, yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and close it because it is getting super late. So unless anyone else wants to share Easter stuff, or I love hearing that you're about to do a challenge and people have been able to share feedback of what's gone on. Like, that's why I love this community, because allergy moms are so creative. And if you haven't thought of it, someone else will, and we can all share and learn from one another. So do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No.
I know. I don't know why I ask you that. Every week I'm like, go ahead and add something. And he's like, oh, why are you putting me on the spot? All right. Well, thanks so much, guys. We're so glad. It means a lot. I know it's a weekday. It's a work day. And you guys tune in late at night. So it means a lot. Tell your friends. Tell your family. I will end with this. I have a really exciting piece of news that I should be finalizing tomorrow or the next day.
What's that?
I can't say it right now. Don't you say it. So be looking for a really big announcement from me about a big project. Are you with me now? You with me now? A big project I'm doing for you guys. I have been putting in so much time and stuff behind the scenes. I'm super excited to tell you about it. Hey, Anna Liz. So be looking for that announcement. And I also, if it turns out good, I'm recipe testing this week. I am working on some rookies for you guys, some brownie cookies. So
Rookies.
yeah,
Is that what they call them?
Yes. So be excited. I've got some good stuff coming down the pipeline for you guys. And I meant to say this last time, but I don't know. Hi, hello. If you guys knew this, but like literally every time you go to my site, because I always think people know what bloggers know, and then I realize maybe you don't. It's good because I always had to explain it to him. So that reminds me that you guys might not know this. But literally every click you make on my site makes a difference as far as like my revenue and that I get from ads. So I so appreciate you guys going to my site, checking out the recipes and so on, because every little click helps our family. And I just keep thinking of more things. You need to just turn it off. This background is going to be changing because we are moving next week. So get excited for us. It's going to be hectic, busy next 2 weeks, but we are super excited and we appreciate all of you guys' support. So with that, I really will close. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good
Have
night.
a good night. See ya. Will you do that one for me? Okay. Bye-bye. See you next week.